Hello, and thank you for being here to view my action research proposal. My project is focusing on improving decoding skills through structured small group phonics instruction. I am a first grade teacher at Buford Academy, and I have 20 first grade students in my classroom. This includes English learners, 3 English learners, 4 students in MTSS, and 3 students in EIP. My focus is to improve decoding skills in our already implemented 90-minute a day literacy block. Let's get started. So, the current problem I'm addressing is that half of my first graders struggle to decode unfamiliar words. This affects their reading fluency, their comprehension, and confidence. If students can't decode these words accurately, then it's limiting how much they enjoy reading and engage with texts. It also shows me off task behaviors during reading centers like playing and talking. So, the purpose of this study is to find out whether the structured phonics routines in the small groups can improve decoding skills, right? So, whether students are able to apply these strategies independently during real reading tasks, because in my literacy block, we have 2 independent stations. So, some research questions I have is how do decoding skills change over time with personalized phonics instruction? How do students apply decoding strategies during independent reading? And will targeted phonics lessons improve students' ability to decode unfamiliar words? So this work matters because decoding weaknesses, they already affect 50% of my class. So I'm just concerned because I shared this with other first grade teachers and they also agreed. So the studies directly supports my school's improvement goals because um, it aligns to use evidence-based literacy instruction and supports EIP, MTSS students, and our English learners. So let's get into our instructional approach, which is grounded in structured literacy and systematic phonics instruction. I will use the gradual release model and scaffold instruction based on students' current abilities. I will also do ongoing assessments to tailor lessons for each learner, move them in certain groups based on their growth. During my framework that I'm doing, learning occurs during the zone development, and that scaffolding does help them become independent readers. Collaboration and meaningful reading and writing activities also enhance learning. So I made sure that I am going to keep the collaboration center. What I have is read it, tap it, spell it. Originally, I had red words, which is like here, there, like the sight words, right? And I'm replacing those with decodable words, right? Like help and cats, for example, just words that they can actually decode because it'll help enhance their learning. Okay. So, some key insights that I have from literature. So, research shows that these structured phonics instructions will be very effective for early readers, especially in first grade. So, for example, McKinnon and Gillian emphasize that teaching decoding step by step, starting with letter sound awareness to blending and fluent word recognitions, will help them become good readers, right? And then studies like Weber show that instruction should be tailored to their abilities. So that's why we need to do the pre-test and the post-test to see where their starting point is, because not every student is going to benefit from the same approach. So we have to assess what skills they have and then differentiate lessons that lead to better outcomes. And that is research based, right? So Olson reminds us that even with like the best strategies that you can implement, you have to be consistent with the delivery. Nothing can change. That means being prepared and making your lessons beforehand. So the research supports a balanced structure. So evidence-based phonics combined with flexibility to meet the needs of the students is exactly what I aim to do in my classroom because I am flexible already and it's proven by research to be flexible. So I think that is a really good insight. All right, so let's get into the methodology of design. So I plan to use both quantitative and qualitative data. The quantitative data is going to come from the running records and the Amir assessments. And these are going to show improvements in decoding accuracy over time. And it also is digitally recorded for me. Well, Amira is. And then the other one will be recorded by me in a book. So the qualitative data will come from my observations of if students are on task on during their independent or group work collaborative centers, and then their student work samples and just reflections, just to see how students are able to decode and use these strategies and how engaged they are. So, let's get into the participants. So all 20 students in my classroom will participate, which are including the English learners and my students receiving the additional supports like MTSS and EIP. Students will be able to be grouped based on their abilities, right? So their current abilities per pretest, they will be grouped and I will move them around if they are growing or not. I like that these lessons will take place in my already implemented 90-minute literacy block, so nothing is going to change there. And I will integrate structured phonics without taking away from other important activities. So that's nice. So let's get into some data sources and some instruments that I will use. Oh, why is it not changing? Okay, there we go. So I will do the pre-test before the trial starts and then the post-test at the end, and it will be the running record. I will check Amira weekly, and observations will be twice or 3 times, sorry, at the beginning, the middle, and the end. And then let's get into the actions plan and success. So my action plan will involve the flexible small group rotations with decodable word practice, both collaboratively and independently. I'll monitor progress weekly with the Amira and quick decoding checks. I will make mid-cycle adjustments as needed. And then success will be measured by 3 indicators, right? So increasing overall decoding accuracy, which is currently 50% of the class. I want to get that to 75%. And then engagements. I want it to be at or above 80% during the reading centers. All right, so let's talk about the methodology, credibility, and ethics. So credibility and ethics are my top priority. I will assign student names to be like student A, student B, student C. I will store data in a secure drive. I will collect multiple data sources, and I will also do peer debriefs and with other first grade teachers and my AP to reflect on my own biases. And then I will follow FERPA. I anticipate several contributions from this study. First, students should improve their decoding skills and reading confidence. Second, the study proves that evidence-based strategies for small group phonics instructions can be used by other teachers. And then another is finding all the findings will inform future cycles of action research. This will help me explore decoding growth while also improving reading comprehension and fluency. But yeah, so overall, this research just highlights the importance of decoding in early elementary, like how we need this literacy skills, and just shows how structured, individualized instruction can make just a meaningful difference with our first graders. Thank you so much for being here. Take care.